What's up? I'm about to do a review of Baddies Midwest just because I want to see like what YouTube is kind of giving, but I also want to share like my opinion on the show because I actually really do like the show. So let's get into that. So we open this scene with Akbar, Natalie, and Jaden talking, right? And we know how Natalie gets down. She's gonna be like really, really cool with the people who are like have clout and are celebrities, all of that kind of energy. So she's talking to them and she's talking about Biggie. So one thing about it that I can say is Natalie used to be like my very much favorite. And Biggie then, well, Natalie used to be my very much favorite back in like the BGC days. But like Biggie at a certain point was like my favorite in the Baddies days because I felt what she was saying. And then she kind of like fell off and I didn't really like her. I don't know how, but how do they make you like Biggie? Like, y'all make me like her because y'all are sitting down having a whole conversation about her. It's super negative. It's uninformed. It's not even the criticism that I see like a lot of times on the internet about Biggie. It's like about something that don't make sense. So the whole big thing that happened is Akbar um said something about Biggie, and we knew they had some pressure. Biggie was acting weird on the bus, and this is around the time where I'm like, Biggie is just acting really, really weird, really, really strange. So it comes down to that bus scene the last time, and uh Natalie is like, somebody's going home, somebody's going home. First off, the only person who deserved to go home was the person who went home, Yoshi, because she doesn't have a personality really like that. I don't think I've seen too many confessionals of her on the show. So I'm thinking like Yoshi's going home. Natalie's trying to use that as like a trigger and like, well, before I almost it's given before I decide who's going home, does anybody have anything to say? Nobody says anything. So then she's like, so because I knew that you had a problem with, so you're stirring the pot. That's okay. All right. She stirs the pot and she says that Akbar and Biggie had like a problem with each other. So Akbar says what she says. Biggie throws something at Akbar. Akbar squares up, Biggie squares up, they don't fight. Boom. After that, Jaden don't like her. Do not like Jaden. Point blank, period. Because Jaden throws something at Biggie. Biggie's response is comes in, and you know Biggie ain't really a fighter, but swings like 4 times. Maybe we seen it from a wrong angle, but from what I seen, Biggie swings like 4 times. Jaden don't swing nothing. Falls on the ground, and then he's like, oh, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Who cares? And then they're all on Biggie's ass because they're saying like, you didn't do the same thing with Akbar. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Somebody throwing something at you is a direct escalation of a fight. So that's the storyline that they're sticking with. Jaden's talking about Biggie can't sit with me. Nobody wants to sit with you, Jaden. Like, you're really not that much pressure. Your pressure is just based off of your relationship to your baby dad. Akbar, you're also now pressed over Biggie. Now, hopefully Biggie don't disappoint me, but I'm now writing for Biggie again. Like, good luck. Skipping forward, we get to a scene with Biggie, Tinka, and Rolly. And I don't know if it's just me, but I think Rolly's like getting closer to the same size that like she was beforehand, which really sucks because like when you spend that much money to like not be super big, I saw her when the camera zoomed back on her body, it didn't look like the pictures that be on Twitter. I'm gonna just say that right now. It didn't look like when she fresh got out of surgery. Natalie sends Rolly a text message and it's invite everybody pretty much except Biggie. No Biggie, but it says that like blatantly. So Biggie gets in the camera and does this little like I don't care, it's not gonna eat down without me or whatever. This is my thing. Um I don't know why that would be, but I think it has something to do with what happened. Was that before or after? When we saw that clip that released when Natalie and Biggie was arguing, and everybody was like, "Oh, Natalie ate down. She ate down." Da 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 on Biggie at I think it was like at a club, and Biggie got into the thing, and she was mad about Stunner Girl, and then Natalie said something back, but it kind of like ate Biggie up a little bit. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I do think that no, I'm still riding with Biggie over the situation that they're making it about. If it's about something else, this is reality TV. Let us know that. Let us know that. If it's about something else, because I feel like what it's been made about, if it's been made about the way that she handled Akbar and the way that she handled Jaden, she handled that perfectly down to a T for sure. We was shocked by Jaden. Come on now. You have went around bragging for like years at this point about how you knocked Rock Tooth out. I know if Rock caught you on the one-on-ones, it's not going to be that. So Tinka is doing how Tinka does. Tinka gives really, really positive energy. She gives also a lot of energy. Rolly is doing how she does. She's saying that Biggie needs to stand up for herself. And in some instances, she does. And I thought, like, I was like, okay, make this Biggie's last season. But so far, me watching, because I'm watching the clips, and every clip that changes, I'm making like a recording off of that. And I'm telling you right now, it looks like once again, Biggie proves why she should be on this show, because she always has a storyline where people end up liking her. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So fast forward. Now we come into Jazz, Ivory, and Pretty Pete having a conversation. And y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck. In this scene, and like I said, I'm making clips as it goes. This made me start to respect Pretty Pete a little bit, because the problem I had with her is she was all bark and I saw no substance. I think that's what it was. Because we know that if Pretty Pete, it isn't about how she fights. If she got into a fight with Summer, we knew she was going to do Summer in. Of course, she's not going to do Bad Dolly in. She's probably not going to do Big Ivory in. She's done some corny stuff in the past or whatever. But we know that she's going to do what she needs to do at the end of the day. And she's going to stand on something. But this was actually standing on something to me. So she gets in the scene, and Ivory, what's her name? Jasmine are talking to Pretty Pete. Boom, boom. They're talking about the situation that's going on with Biggie. Like I said, Biggie has made herself a central figure in this episode so far. Once again, we're going to see how I feel about the end of this episode. But so far, she's made herself a central episode figure here once again. Where I'm gonna let y'all know, Diamond so far has failed to make herself a central figure episode. Tinka, even though she's been an integral part, has failed to make herself an integral part of the episode. Pretty P is like, well, da da da, what's going on? Ivory is like, what's going on? And Ivory said something along the lines of, well, I feel like Biggie should have defended herself. And Pretty P is like, oh, well, I don't feel like she was scared of Akbar. How can you take, y'all, if I throw something at you, a physical object, let's say I took this bottle of Mentos. Let's say I put this bottle of Mentos and I threw it at you. Let's say we in an arguing match about who I am, about who you are, all of this. And I just take this and I'm like, and I chuck it at your head. And it hits you. And let's say you was like, what's up? And you was like, what's up? The obligation on the person to swing is the person who just got something thrown at them. I'm not saying they have to do that, but I am saying that, like, if somebody's gonna swing, I know if a bottle of Mentos was thrown at my head, just thrown, swinging, like, what do you mean? Swinging. So if you decide not to swing, you definitely can't say, let's say you like, oh, this person might be able to take me, so I'm not gonna swing, but I'm about to square up with him. I'm gonna be like, bro, who is you talking to? That's different than saying that the person who threw the bottle of Mentos at your head is scared of you. Who's scared of you? Clearly, I think it's at your head. So Pretty P is like, I don't feel like Biggie is scared of Akbar. And then here comes Ivory. And Ivory is like, well, why was she so quick to fight Jayden? Okay. Let's go back to the example. So now somebody threw the bottle of Mentos at somebody's head, and Biggie came through immediately and was like, bop, 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 just dropped her. I'm just confused. I'm confused. If you threw the bottle of Mentos at somebody's head and they ain't want smoke, and even if you feel like, oh, they could have beat me or whatever, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know yet. It's not giving Biggie was scared. Like, and then Pretty P was like, I just feel like some people just don't want to be fighting all the time. This is her 4th season. Maybe she don't want to fight all the time. But clearly when it came down to press, she did what she had to do. Somebody actually did something. Oh, wait. And I forgot to mention this. So then they come, I think it was Rolly. I heard Rolly's voice. Rolly is like, not Pretty P, not Ivory. Who's Jasmine? Look, Jasmine is so close to Phaeton in the background. Even though I like her, she's so close to Phaeton. But Jasmine was like, sitting there, and Rolly was like, Jasmine, you're coming with us. Ivory is like, oh, I have a Baddies chain. She didn't say that to them or whatever, but she was like, I just want to go back inside. All right, boom. We skip to the... Oh, boy. Y'all. Okay. So I just watched the summer Bad Dolly and Emma scene. All right. So boom. Boom, 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 boom. So this is what happened. All right. So Summer and Bad Dolly is talking. They have like a little friendship going on. And I'm gonna tell you what I think that is. I'm gonna tell you that I feel like Summer is the show at this point, and I think that a lot of people know that. Ivory has some control, some power, because Ivory facilitated the first whole showdown. One thing about Ivory that it has to be said, Ivory is going get it going, get it rocking. All right, so boom, this is how it shows. All right, Summer, Bad Dolly, and Big Lex. They're talking, they're kikiing, they're having like a good time. Like this is how it's supposed to be an entrance scene. All right, this was the dopest scene so far that I've seen of this episode. All right. So they come in, they turning up, da-da-da-da, last night was so fun. Boom. Rolly comes, whispers in Big Lex's ear. And she's like, oh, come with us to lunch. So Big Lex leaves the scene. Mind you, Emma comes in at this point, and Bad Dolly and Summer have some type of smoke. And Summer is like, off rip, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, at the beginning of the show, I was thinking, I don't like Summer. Summer's the show. She's the show this season. She reminds me of Diamond, but like 10 times more in the paint, 10 times harder than Diamond. She comes in and she's like, well, you've been doing a lot of talking, but you've been real quiet. Are you okay? Emma's like, you've been picking on me. You've been picking on me. So she's pressed. She's pressed. You've been picking on me. You've been picking on me. All right. And then Summer's like, what? Oh my. Bruh. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you right now. This is how this went. So, Emma, she's like, no, I ain't pressed. But she really trying to fight Summer. Because we know Summer ain't got the 1-2s like that. She really not trying to fight Bad Dolly. Bad Dolly gets up. Boom. This is the thing about Bad Dolly. I need you to like, because we can tell like the pressure that you give. Like I know the pressure that Bad Dolly gives or whatever. Because Summer was not Summer. Emma was not trying to get it with Bad Dolly at all. This whole entire scene, I don't care what nobody says, Emma was not trying to get in there with Bad Dolly point blank, period. She did maybe one scene of talking for the cameras, but she's really not trying to get in there with Bad Dolly. She was trying to like make peace, to be honest. But the problem with Bad Dolly is like, why are you like spending an hour and a half taking off your clothes? You could have handled her with your clothes on. Like, let's be for real. So here it goes. Emma gets up. She's mad. She got a problem. She got some pressure. She comes up to Summer at first. Bad Dolly starts taking her clothes off. So Emma is like, oh, I'm going to just come up to Bad Dolly. There was no real, like, from what I've seen, like, no real hits thrown. No, nothing like that. But she comes up to Bad Dolly. She trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Boom. That gets broken up real quick. Before it even really started. And then she comes up to Summer and she kind of works Summer a little bit. She kind of just pieced her up a little bit. Summer is like, oh, what? Ooh, da, da, da. You know how Summer is. Da, da, da. What you trying to do? Blah, 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 blah. Bad Dolly is like, Ivory comes down and is like, who is, okay, are y'all still trying to fight or what? Because the security is down at this point. Is y'all still trying to fight or what? And Bad Dolly is like, bro, I'm on whatever you want. So then Emma starts saying, oh, my hand hurts. Now, she's like, I ain't trying to do this fighting stuff all the time. My hand hurts. And I can understand your hand hurting. I get that. Like when you get into fights, like your hands might be hurting or whatever. But if you're like adrenaline is really rushing and you're like sick of it, it's up and it's stuck. But I get that. Bad Dolly picks up some drinks and like throws it on Summer. Is like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. But the problem is Bad Dolly. You're gonna have to get them because I've seen you get gagged too many times, and you haven't gagged anybody yet. And Bad Dolly gives like very much OG vibes. Like, I know I can fight. I know I'm settled in, but I'm only gonna do that if I have to. Da da da. And mind you, Ivory's facilitating this whole thing at this point. But you could just tell, like, she just keeps getting in like a disadvantaged point. Like, you kind of gotta gag somebody. The only person that I've seen her really gag so far is Pretty P. But I feel like 90% of the people in the house, if she went up one-on-one with them, they would be really, really like crocked down with her. So we end that scene, and I'm gonna just say Emma held her own, not with the talking, but like more so like with the action. Like she held her own with Summer. But Bad Dolly, it's just we know what that would end like. So fast forward, we're getting to the point where I think it's Rolly, Diamond, Tinka, Big Legs, and Jasmine. They're in the Sprinter and they're just like talking, they're kind of vibing. And they're talking about the fact that Natalie always sets up fights. I know down bad that Natalie always is setting up a fight. For sure, she is. Rolly is concerned that she's fake concerned that Slim is going to be the one to come in. We know what the outcome of that is going to be. She's going to drag Slim slither ways forward and backwards. I haven't seen that part yet, but I'm just saying, like, we know what that's about to look like. Like, Rolly is starting to get back to her size now. And Slim was never a match for Rolly in the first place. So that's first foremost. But Slim is apparently, according to Rolly, been talking about her kids, which she fought Diamond over that too. Diamond chimes in a little bit, and Diamond, you know how Diamond does, decides to be a little bit messy and says something about what if they bring up some of the old people on the old show. And then she's like, what if they bring back Meatball? Because I know that you had a problem with Meatball. And she's talking to Tinka. And Tinka's like, see, every time we try to be cool, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I actually like Tinka a lot. I'm not going to say more than I like Diamond because I like Diamond too, but I like Tinka a lot because to me, Tinka keeps it real. And Tinka was like, every time that we try to be cool, you say some little slick stuff, don't bring nothing up from the past, that happened, but if they want to bring her back, it's smoke, it's pressure. And we know how Tinka gets down because she got down with Meatball in the past. So that wasn't a problem. So that was the bus scene. So then they get to the restaurant. And what's so funny to me is that they had to mention like, oh, I'm not bringing Biggie. Now we know, and I feel like for a fact, the reason why Natalie did not bring Biggie to this restaurant is because of the fact that she got into it with Jaden, the celebrity guest that Natalie tries to be cool with. She got into it with Jaden. She got into it with Akbar. But mind you, Natalie is going to get into it insofar as she feels like it's okay to get into it with them. So when Tommy was a celebrity guest, she was cool with her until she wasn't. Tommy's a little crazy though. But normally Natalie tries to be cool with the celebrity guest, and then for some reason Biggie just finds it within herself to have beef with the celebrity guest. So now we're getting to the scene where they come into the restaurant. This is going to be the scene where it's the infamous uh Diamond and Akbar fight. So let's see what happens. Oh my God, we just got to the fact that Akbar and Diamond had it wasn't even a scuffle, but it was a fight. And I'ma just I'ma just say it like this. Diamond gagged Akbar. And I'm gonna let you know why. Because Akbar is from Love and Hip Hop, where you really don't fight. The security is gonna break it up before there's actually any kind of fight. Diamond. Okay, so this is how this starts off. All right, we start off with a conversation about Biggie, and then Akbar is feeling really, really big. And this is the thing, like she's feeling a little bit bigger than what she is. She felt really, really big, and she started to come at Diamond, and Diamond started just reading her down, like just reading her down. So now Akbar is kind of pressed. And she says something to Diamond. I feel like, and I'm just now watching it, I'm gonna have to watch the clips back, but she says something to Diamond, but apparently, according to everybody, is that Akbar spit at Diamond at some point. She's talking about how like her butt don't shake when she gets up, and Diamond got up and started like clapping and was like, "Where don't it shake at? Where don't it shake at?" She's like, "It's stinking here. It's stinking." It was shaking to me. Diamond lunges at her, bop, 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 catches her with like maybe like a two-piece. Akbar's like, "I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight." Boom, boom. It's whatever. It's whatever. Diamond keeps reading her down, gets down on the floor with her, starts fighting. It looked like they was both hitting each other, to be honest, like in the fight. Like they was both like hitting each other, like boom, like back to back to back. Like it was like a real generic fight. Like they was like holding each other and like hitting each other, which is really, really crazy. But then Akbar is like, she said something to Diamond. And Diamond was just the whole time reading her all the way through and through. I was just thinking in my head, like, of all people that you're going to give camera time to, because apparently Akbar is really actually kind of famous. Like, not famous in the sense of like Nicki Minaj, but like Zeus. Like, she got some type of clout about her. Of all people that you want to give attention to, you're going to give it to Diamond. We already know how she acts. We already know how she gets down. She's going to take advantage of that. She's going to flip it to her side. You didn't whoop her. You didn't even do as good as Rolly. And Rolly didn't do that great of a job. I feel like E.T. would have done a way better job than Rolly did. Then on top of that, she's reading you down the whole fight. Then we ended with the scene of Diamond and Tinka doing the whole like it's a baddie party, you can't get in. It was just real bad, I feel like, for Akbar. It looks like she ended up leaving with her own personal security and was like, I'm done. I'm sorry. This wasn't a good look for Akbar. This wasn't a good look. Because if you're already have some type of clout, I could see you using Zeus Network to further your clout, but you should use it the way that the twins used it. You should use it the way that who was the other people who came on there? The white girl from P. Diddy's group used it. Like, but you're trying to be like messy like them, and like in reality, that's not your speed. It's not your speed. And I know that because Diamond's not even the best fighter on this show. So like if you act like that with everybody else and you do, then you're gonna like realize what it is. I'm gonna be shocked. She's probably gonna come to the reunion, but like with a different mindset. Just keep it kosher, keep it coesthetic, because you didn't already show people that you can be beat. Biggie might beat you up. That's crazy. So we get to the next scene. We fast forward the clock. Now it's Pretty P and Emma sitting down and talking. And Emma brings up the fact that she feels like she was jumped. I'm gonna be honest, she was jumped. She 100% was. Because Dolly was, like I said, like trying to take off her jacket, just doing too much. Like, and Emma is running up on her, and I know that Dolly would have did her in, but then Summer jumps in and starts hitting her. Yeah, but Emma made it very clear. Like, I didn't want the pressure with Bad Dolly. I wanted it with Summer, right? So then Biggie and Ivory come in, and it lets it be known why Ivory got her chain. Because she's running that house. Where Biggie is supposed to shine, Ivory is coming out and doing what Biggie is supposed to be doing. 150%. Ivory comes out, and you know she got her little red cup. That means some liquor is in there. She's drunk. She pops up and she's like, what's up? What's up? And they didn't try to jump you. She said they didn't jump you. They tried to jump you. She starts correcting them and everything, and they starting to get more energy now. And then after that, Ivory says to Biggie, and Biggie is trying to key with her a little bit. Ivory is running that house. Running that house. I'm letting you know right now. When it comes down to the scenes that were being laid out, Ivory is running that house. So Ivory says like, oh, da-da-da-da, I felt like this. And they come out with all of this energy, trying to respond to Ivory and trying to respond to Biggie. And it's just, Ivory is just, she's giving OG. I'm actually liking Ivory a little bit more than I liked her, because I feel like you get to see a little bit more of her personality. You get to see a little bit more of who she is. So then at the end of it, Ivory is like, well, Biggie said, I'm going to tell you right now, it was so lame that they left me too. Da-da-da-da. And Ivory is like, well, I'm going to tell you right now. She said in the confessional to us that she doesn't understand why she was left. But to them, she said like, I'm bored. What's up? In the next scene, in tomatoes, we get Jayla, Anna, and Tasiki trying to oddly pretend for the cameras like Diamond just got beat up. And I just know Natalie is up to this. Like, oddly trying to pretend like that just happened. Like we didn't witness with our own eyes. And then after they initially say that, the whole conversation is about how Akbar was wrong and kept trying to press her a little bit. And then how Diamond was hit. Like, why are we getting this fake scene? It was a fake scene. 100% it was a fake scene. Because why in the scene we're cutting back and forth between the bus, between Akbar, no, not Akbar. We're getting the fake scene between Jayla, Anamac, and Tasiki. And then back with Diamond on the bus with freaking Tinka and a couple of other people on the bus. And it's just given that obviously it it wasn't that. It was a fake scene. So next we get this really nice scene between Jasmine and or not Jasmine, Summer and Bad Dolly. And the scene was just really fucking good ass vibes. Like they're in the hot tub, they're vibing, and it's clear, and it's just giving really, really like old school BGC kind of vibes. Like they're just connecting with each other. They're on the same type of energy. And really we see Summer making like a lot of enemies, but she's made like a really good connection in the house, is what it seems like. Now, underneath the scenes, it seems like Bad Dolly has decided like I'm gonna be cool with Summer because Summer is part of the show. And I feel really bad for Bad Dolly because her hand has gotten hurt at this point. And where we really get into it is because Bad Dolly said like, if Tasiki wants something else, like I gotta make sure that I'm healed up. So I need you to be able to defend yourself. And then Summer's like, I'm doing whatever I'm doing. You do whatever you do, but we're cool. It was just a really good scene. Like it was a really good scene. I haven't seen like a like sisterhood scene like that since I watched it. So this was a good scene. So like closing thoughts. I'ma just say this right now. I think that Bad Dolly gives like OG Baddie, and this season just did not go good for her. First, you came at, because she's more like a reserved kind of person. So you came at Anna on some serious stuff. Anna didn't kind of want that. That was the wrong person to pick. Then y'all got cool as the season progressed, is what it gave, according to what's been said. And then you decided to like fake it with her. You whooped down Pretty P. You hurt your hand after that. And the reason why I know that she actually hurt her hand is because she didn't lose to Pretty P. So she's it's not like she was just like saying that like, oh, my hand is hurt, I don't want to fight anymore. Then you fought again. Now you got a slingshot on. You're missing a lot of scenes. I feel really, really bad for Bad Dolly because I don't know if she's gonna be able to return back. Hopefully for the rest of the season going forward, because then I saw the thing that happened between her and Jayla, and it just wasn't like good for her. So I just hope, I really do hope that she's able to like, and then like you're taking too long to take off your like jacket, when in reality you probably didn't have to take off your jacket to fight Emma. It's really bad for Pretty P. Or not Pretty P, Bad Dolly. But Bad Dolly looks fucking amazing to me. Like Bad Dolly, I would say, is one of the most attractive girls on this show that I've seen. And she's a dark-skinned woman, and I love that. Who else? So Summer. Summer's eating the whole show down. She should have, by far, first and foremost, gotten a baddie chain. By far, first and foremost, gotten a baddie chain. It's not even the fact of her fighting skills. It's the fact of like how she like acts on TV. Like she knows how to like keep a show going or whatever. Ivory in this episode showed me why she did get a baddie chain. It's because Ivory kind of like keeps everybody in line in that house. She makes the show keep going or whatever. And we know Ivory is not gonna play or whatever. And it seems like a lot of the girls are kind of like intimidated by her, to be honest. Who else? Emma. Here. she gagged herself. Look, at the end of the scene, Summer just said to Ivory, or not Ivory, Emma, you're boring, da da da. And it was like a chef's kiss. Like it was just so good to like see that. And Scotty was like, oh, I really wouldn't want to say that. You know what's funny? We really didn't see that much of Tasiki, Scotty, and who was the other one? Tasiki, Scotty. There was another one. I forget. But anyways, we didn't see that much of Tasiki or Scotty in this episode. And then we fast forward a little bit more. I would say of the new girls, Big Lex, we didn't see that much of her in this new episode, but Big Lex, I do like her. I respect her. Oh, Tasiki, Scotty, and Jayla. We didn't see that much of them in this episode. But the reason that reminded me of that is because Big Lex and Jayla have been having a beat. Big Lex is like she's a star. I like her a lot. I do feel like the whole thing between her and Jayla doesn't make that much sense. But outside of that, I do like the fact that she stands up to Ivory 10 toes down. I feel like there's a lot more to come. We really can't say definitively about these people because I know that Big Lex and Jayla still have another fight. Apparently, I didn't see it in the trailers, but apparently there's still another fight. I hope that's not the only one. We know that Big Lex and Ivory still have a couple more fights. Pretty P, y'all, didn't like her. And I felt like I wasn't gonna like her. But in this episode, I actually liked her. It does seem like she was also called all out for being like a boring person because I feel like her whole storyline is like fighting. Like she doesn't have like any kind of like key about her whatsoever. Who else of the new? I'm only gonna talk about the new people. Emma, it's a wrap. I don't like Emma. Emma, Pretty P, not Scotty. Emma, Pretty P, Ivory, Summer, Jasmine. Jasmine still shows up in like the storyline to a certain extent, but I feel like she should be probably a little bit more thankful of Summer because Summer's kind of giving her a storyline. As I don't like Summer, that's really her storyline. She seems like a cool person though, like reasonable. We know that Summer's not a reasonable person, but it's good TV. Anyways, what I would say with this episode, it's probably like it's like a decent episode. Out of all of the episodes that they've had so far this season, it's like a decent episode. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Apparently, freaking Slim comes in. And like I said, I seen it, and she's about to get just dragged around like a doll by Rolly. And then I feel like this isn't her flavor. Like, this is not your, like, flavor. She might think it is, but she's probably going to get dragged around by other people. She's probably going to leave at a certain point or be quiet. The celebrity guest, Jaden, tomatoes. Like, Jaden's even worse than Akbar. Like, worse than Akbar. Because she's talking about, like, oh, and then you pick on me because I'm so small. Can it? At least Akbar did something. You were just embarrassing. So anyways, that's my review.